How y'all doing? I'm Cloud, the owner of Cosrip magazine. We're here live at the LAG, and I got a special guest with me tonight. I'm gonna let her introduce herself to you guys.
Hi, I'm Alice, Alice the Malice on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok.
Word, I like how you introduce yourself. So you must be used to this kind of thing. You used to getting interviewed.
I mean, a little bit, but I want to do my own podcast, so I'm more used to talking.
Word. So what's the name of your podcast?
It's going to be called Good Sex.
Oh shit. Oh shit, y'all. She said her podcast gonna be called Good Sex. Good Sex. So what are you gonna? I feel like we kind of get a vibe for it, but what are you going to be covering on your podcast?
Okay, so basically I'm aiming for a 10-episode podcast where we're going to be talking about things that are good sex. And instead of visualizing what good sex means, portray it to your life and see, okay, what are things that are good sex to me and what is good sex to me? Because you've had bad sex, you've had sex, and you've had good sex. You always aim for it, you always strive for it. That's something that you want to achieve because you know it's true human nature. You know that it's something that pleases you naturally and not superficially where you have to think about it. It's something your body can't control, and it's something that just flows unevenly, naturally. So it's like something you always achieve. Somebody in your life could be good sex if you're satisfied when you finish talking to them, if you're satisfied after you've parted ways or even before you've connected ways and had good sex. Have you had a good conversation with them? Are you satisfied with the way they are and the human being that they are? And are you having good conversations with them? Are you having good sex with them before you have sex with them? So we're going to be talking about things like that. Like, say a topic of a podcast would be like self-care. And so we would talk about how self-care is good sex. And like at the end of the episode, we're going to be dropping a candle, which reminds you to like light your way through the dark alleys. Because, self-care isn't just about taking care of yourself. It's also about depression and how that affects your self-care and how you don't want to do those self-care topics when you're depressed and stuff like that. So, we're going to be talking about different things in every episode. Also sex, of course. But, you know what I'm saying? There's other things that apply to good sex other than sex.
No, I mean, I feel like that's dope, first of all. But I do feel like sex starts before you get to the bed. And sex starts with everything that you just named. And I love that because a lot of us don't understand that. And that's why we end up in these fucked up situations. Because you fucking before you fuck.
Exactly. If you can't connect energetically and if you can't mingle and if you're not having good sex with your energies, then you'll never actually have good sex. It'll just be all superficial because in the back of the head, you don't really like this girl. Like, it's like you can't fake and deny what's real, true nature, which is good sex. You know what I'm saying? So.
No, word. So let me ask you this. Do you have a co-host or are you the main host?
I'm the main host. I'm doing all 10 episodes. We're also going to be talking about things like psychedelics and also just different aspects of your life. Like, for example, like having sex. Like, do you actually know what pleases your body or are you just listening to what people tell you that pleases your body? Do you know how to make yourself come to that climax by yourself? Masturbation is also good sex because
masturbation is beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? You're learning your body, how it works, and how you love to love. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn that for yourself in order to do that amongst others. Because if you don't know how you tick, how could you fix anybody else's clock? You know what I'm saying? So it's all about good sex in general,
With that. So would this be mostly for females or will you have male?
I'm actually planning a clothing release. Like every episode will have a release based on the topic. And I'll be having a unisex clothing item. So I'll be having like lingerie for men and women as well, silk lined boxers. So you can feel sexy, you know what I'm saying? As a man, you should be able to have silk things. You should have luxury as yourself, I have women, of course, clothing items, like lingerie sets as well, but women boxers as well. So we can feel comfortable. Anybody can feel comfortable. I want silk robes as well. So we all feel sexy. We all feel included. We're all meshed together. We all really are one. You know what I'm saying? Under all this skin, we're really one, and we're really one race. We're humans. You know what I'm saying? We all aim for one thing, which is generally repopulation. We come together, we create other things and other people like us and other things that go on to grow to better things. So, you know, I'm all about that inclusion. Men and women, the tracksuits are going to be silk lined for men and women. You know what I'm saying? I don't want just women. I want men to feel included, because without the man, you know what I'm saying, the cycle is incomplete for me.
Y'all heard what this black woman just said. Without the that was a whole little gem for y'all, because y'all, I see a lot of y'all like to leave us out, like to hate on us right now. What we need is this good sex mentally, you know what I mean? Because a black man ain't shit without a black woman, and really vice versa. So let me ask you this. So Cosrip's sister magazine is L.A.G, which focuses on black high fashion. We might need to get you in there and get you an editorial going on for the magazine.
So I love black high fashion. I've done a couple fashion shows. I'm a model, so I walked in a couple fashion shows with black-owned companies, and it was just very enriching. Like, I felt the love, I felt the support, and I just felt us as a population, like, we are really one. And it's just, I love supporting anything like that. Like, I'm all for that, you know what I'm saying? I'm Jamaican, so it's like, I came from Jamaica. I came up here in 2018, 2019. I moved up here. So it's really enriching for me to see us as a culture outside of my hometown, outside of my home island, outside of where I came from, the third world country I came from. Seeing that us black people are, you know, gaining in technology and gaining in the system and making strides in this world. I'm all supportive of that.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to have a little side conversation with her about L.A.G. You definitely fit to see her with L.A.G Fashion Magazine. But since we're on the topic of fashion, Cosrip Magazine is all about showing people the high fashion and cosplay and high-end cosplay. Thus, Cosrip meaning cosplay and rip the runway. So, being a fashion designer yourself, do you feel like high-end cosplay should be considered high fashion?
Definitely. So, because I feel like for fashion in general, I love fashion. I feel like, to me, real fashion is putting that energy and work and thought behind the fabric, you know, behind the design, behind anything you do. It's all it's more than just the clothes. It's more than just the fabric, you know, it's more than just a stitch. It's the energy you put into it, and the thought, and the people you cater to, which opens up a whole new world of inclusion, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, in general, like, cosplay should definitely, because it's a big culture. And, you know, it's inclusive of any race and of any fashion, of any style. Like, right now, I'm casual cosplaying, you know, like Black Fire from Teen Titans. So it's, you know, it's like low key. Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's just low key for me, you know what I'm saying? But even then, that's considered fashion, because fashion you can subjugate into increments, you know what I'm saying, into different genres, and you can spin on it any way you want. It's such a big subculture that you can just take it into any parts. I feel like cosplay should be a part of high fashion.
Word, y'all heard it here. Cosplay should be considered high fashion, and with the help of Cosrip, that's what we gonna do. We're trying to push the culture forward, and y'all look out for her. She fit to go crazy, and look out for Good Sex Podcast. Where we'll be able to find that podcast?
You're gonna be able to find it on YouTube. You know, I'm gonna have an Instagram as well, but mainly YouTube, so it's accessible to the public.
All right, and this is Cosrip live from the LAG, and we out.